Everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Developer Student Club's first event of the web development team. I hope I'm audible. Uh,
Yes, Adek, you are.
okay. Uh, and okay. Is there anyone facing any issue? No, everything is fine. So, how many of you are attending first time in the event of Developer Student Club? Means this is your first event to the DSC. Okay, Monarchs, Rahul's, Ayan, Nihir, Ronak. Oh, hi, Ronak. Riya, Mihir. And how many of you are in the first year? Like, right first year in chat. And like, totally new to the university. Oh, so many guys. Yeah. Uh, sweet, sweet. Uh, okay, so uh, do you guys like aware when you join the computer science, you guys have heard the term web development, mobile development, etc., etc. So today, our web development team, which consists of 3 members, will introduce to this world of the web development with the like reliable and accelerated version of the web, which is implemented through the progressive web application, which is quite new and hot technology nowadays. And that will introduced by our members, Ishita Chauhan. Second is Bhavik Ardesna. They both are from the second year of the computer engineering degree, and Jwalit Shah, who is in the third year of his degree. And guys, this is not lecture, and you all are new to. Many of you are new to this event, so please, uh, turn on your web camera, interact with us through the chat or through the audio. So enjoy this event, and without wasting any time, I will hand over this event to Ishita. Let's welcome Ishita.
Thank you, Hardik, for inviting me. Hello, guys. Hope you all are doing well and taking care of yourselves during this pandemic time. I am Ishita Chauhan, a member of DSCDD web team. I'm going to conduct the HTML and CSS basics. Guys, if you have any query in between, just put it in the chat box. We will solve it, okay? Uh, hope my screen is visible to you. Uh, yes, okay. So let's start. Okay, let's start with the word web development. Guys, what do you understand by web development? You can write in the chat box if you know. Anyone? Okay, no one. Okay, so web development is the work involved in developing a website for internet. It can be ranged from a static web page to the complex web apps.
Hey Ishita, sorry to interrupt, but can you turn on your audio in the Discord chat also, so that Discord
Oh,
audience also can enjoy the seminar?
okay, sorry.
So please, everyone, feel free to have your audio on. So if any questions or if you are giving any answer, then it is invited uh, very warmly. So don't feel like it is a lecture.
Yeah, another team member also help you if Vijita can't see your comment during the event.
Let's start. Okay. Okay, there are some terminologies which includes in a web development. First is a web design. So web design is a process related to the design of the front end. Web content development means the process of researching, writing, organizing, editing the information for the publication. It can be anything, image, videos, movies, anything can be included in the content. Client side and server side. We will take this part in the next slide. The next is a web server. So the primary function of the web server is to store, process, and deliver the web pages to the clients. The next term is e-commerce development. Hope we all are familiar with this, but still, it is a buying and selling of a product on the online platforms. Okay. There are three kinds of specialization. The first one is the front-end development, front-end developer. Okay. So the front end of the website is the part that user interacts with. Means everything that you see when you are navigating through the internet is a front end. From fonts to colors to drop downs, everything is a combo of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This all include in a front end. Then the next is a backend developer. So tell me one thing, guys. What makes the front end of the website possible? Where all that data being stored. Okay. So this is where the backend comes in. The backend of the website consists of a server, an application, and a database. The next is a full stack developer. So the full stack developers are the jacks of all trades. Means they know everything. They know the front end as well as the back end. So they are the full stack developer. Okay. Here are some terminologies. First is your internet connection. We all are very familiar with this. Next is a TCP or IP, means the transmission control protocol and the internet control protocol. It defines how the data should travel across the internet. Means let's say this is like a transport mechanism that let you place you an order. Means you go to the shop and buy your goods. This is it works like that. The next is a domain name server. They are like an address book for the website, which means when you type a address in your web browser, the browser looks it into the DNS and find its real address, and it will send the HTTP message, and it will look into your browser, means your in your laptop. Okay. The next is hypertext transfer protocol. It is a language for client and server to speak to each other. It is the process how our web page is displayed in our laptop. First, the browser goes to the DNS server, which is the domain name server, and finds the real address of the server that the website lives on. Like you find the address of the shop from where you want to buy the products. The next is the browser sends the HTTP request message to the server, asking it to send a copy of a website to the client. It means you tell the shopkeeper what you want in your language. The same thing does the HTTP with the server. The next is if the server approves the client request, the server sends the 200 OK message. It means that you can see the web page. Right? When the shopkeeper gives you your goods, you come back with to home. This is like that. The browser assembles the small chunks into the complete web page and display it to you. Means you can see the web page on your computer. Okay, this is the roadmap for web development. Guys, we have created a series of a web development. Today is our first session, and we are going to take the HTML and CSS along with the progressive web app. So let's start the introduction to HTML and CSS. Okay, what is HTML? So the HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is the language which most of the websites are written. You can make and create a web page using HTML. What are tags and attributes? Tags and attributes are basics of HTML. Means you can write the code for your web page using the HTML tags and attributes. In attributes, we need to write the additional piece of information. Like in image tag, we are setting the path of that image like that. It is our basic structure of HTML page. We need to write first HTML tag, which is one opening tag and another one is closing tag. Here the head tag. In head tag, you need to write the title for your web page. And in body tag, whatever content you want to show in your web page, you need to write that in our body tag. HTML heading tags. There are six tags. They are in the decreasing order of their font size. This is the syntax of writing the tag, heading tag. We have two kinds of list in a HTML. The first is order list, means it is a increasing order of our numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. And in unordered list, it is like in a form of bullet. We can choose anything from bullet, circle, square, anything. This is the syntax for writing the order list, and here is the syntax for writing the unordered list, OL tag and UL tag. Now, if we want to make a table in our web page, we are using the table tag. Here, the TR stands for the table row, and the TD stands for table data. And partially, we can say that it is a column. Okay. Next. Now, let's say if you want to insert an image in your web page, so what you need to do is you need to write the image tag, and in between you need to set the path of that image. You need to set the width and height of the image. Okay. The image tag should also contain the width and height attribute, which specifies the height and width of the image. Okay, next. Now, if we want to add the link in your website, you can use the anchor tag. What is the syntax for it is you need to write A, and then in href you are supposed to give the link of that page which you want to insert. You might have seen forms in any website. So this is the syntax for form. This is how you can include this kind of form in your website. This is the syntax. Next. Now let's talk about the semantic element. What is semantic element? In the previous HTML, we need to write all the stuff. If we want to include the header or a footer, we need to write it in a div tag and provide the ID like a header or footer. But now in HTML5, we can directly write it in our HTML like header tag or footer tag or article or navigation, means nav tag. Navigation is basically, you have seen in many websites like contact us, home page or anything. Now let's say if you want to insert a media in your page, means you want to insert any video or any audio in your page, you can use this syntax, which contains the video tag and the audio tag. Okay guys, now let's start the CSS. As you might have studied in your 10th standard, so we will just take a brief introduction to it. Okay, let's go.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ishita, but there is one question of Monarch, and he is asking that it means through this club we can learn several languages, or we can participate which we know and apply it through this club. So Monarch, this club is all for the learning purpose and gains more knowledge in the specific field. There are several teams like web development, Android development, machine learning. So you can learn several things by attending this seminar and all, and you can anyways contact us anywhere and anytime. So you are welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question so far? No. Okay, so let's start with the CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. We can we can make our HTML page more decorative and more attractive with the CSS. So let's see. Uh, this is the syntax for a CSS. You need to write the tag which you want to make more attractive. You can set its property and the value of that property. Like here, we have set the property as color and setting the value as a blue. Let's see this example. In p tag, I have choose the color as red and the align of the text is center. So this is how it looks. There are three ways to insert CSS. The external style sheet, internal style sheet, and inline style sheet. What is in a external style sheet is we need to add the .css file separately in our HTML document using the link tag. What we are doing in our internal CSS is we are writing our CSS in the style tag in the head tag of our HTML file. And in our inline CSS, we are writing the CSS property in the body section attached with the element. It is known as the inline CSS. Like in a paragraph tag or in any tag you want to make more attractive. Okay. Now let's talk about this box model. Many of the beginners are felt confused with between the margin padding and the border. Okay, so the what is content here? Whatever the image or text you want to insert in your web page is your content. Your content and your border. The space between your content and your border is your padding. Means your content and here is your border, and in between whatever space you want to leave is your padding. And after the border, whatever the space is remaining is your margin. You can set the margin, but margin is always transparent. Let's see. This is what I have given you. Next. Here I have take one example of box model. I have give width as 300 pixel. The padding is 25 pixel. This is our padding, the gray part. The border is 25 pixel and solid green. This is our border, and the margin, the area behind the border is your margin. It is 25 pixel. You cannot see just because it is transparent, but we can leave it in our web page. Okay, now let's talk about the flex. You might have seen this kind of nav buttons in the website. You can use this using the flex. Here the margin is 10 pixel. Means the blue part here is your margin. The font size is 30 pixel, and the padding of that the padding of the box is 20 pixel. We will going to use this flex in our live code. So Bhavik will give you the brief intro to it there.
Gini? Hello, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Can you please go to the previous slide?
Yeah, which side? This one?
No, the previous one.
Okay, the
Yeah.
yeah.
Where is the content in this?
Whatever the writing is in your HTML file, and you are supposed to give CSS to that particular attribute. And I have shown here the code for that CSS. Are you getting? Means I have written this text in the paragraph tag of my .html file, and I have given it this kind of CSS properties. So it will look like this. Without CSS, it is just a simple text in a white page. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Krutad, we will see much more in detail I will do live demonstration of project. You will be more clear when we doing the project.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Guys.
Now we are.
Now,
So
okay.
over to you, Bhavik.
Yeah. Now we have gone to a theory, right? Now we will jump to the code. I mean, we will develop one web page from scratch with HTML. Let me share my screen to you first. Screen is visible?
Yes, Bhavik, it is visible.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Let's see what I have first of all created the project lab in which I have created two files like index.html and index.css. Right here is the index.html in which this is doc type HTML, which is must while you code HTML. Then it's HTML tag head tag close, and body. And in body, I have divided three sections. Where Ishita told about unsemantic tag. Semantic tag means header, main, and footer. We will divide our web page into three sections here. And here is the index.css file, in which we will perform more designing. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. Now, first I will explain what is meant by meta character set UTF-8. You have heard about ASCII values, right? Capital A it means 65 and like that B66. Here it's similar thing. UTF-6 is an encoding technique which we apply. Means now as we are beginner, we don't need to go through in this much in detail. And in the viewport is mainly used by during responsive web pages. Right now, we are not concerned about this. And yeah, in the link tag, which is the important. The link tag mainly connect the index.css, which Ishita told you, right? href and /index.css. Yeah, dot means current directory. Many of you are from first year, so you are doing this in Linux, right? Dot means current directory, and then slash and index.css, which will connect here. And we have the title TSU as you can see on the left side. Open my Chrome project. Here it is blank because we don't have code yet. Okay, let's start with our header. Okay, we will create header. This is one tag, right? In that we will create a div tag. Okay, and give it the give then class name head, right? We will first create a full body of our project, then we will apply step-by-step designing so you can visualize in live how this will happen. Now we will create another, which name we will give as a main head. Okay, okay. Inside main head and div, another one is nav head. You can give any name to that class name, but it should be like which signifies the what content you put inside the div tag. Means the here we give name as a main head, and here never it says that main head will contain some like logo or your product name, like whatever website we are creating, or never like it will have like we have shop or contact us about us links. Okay, so here first we will give image tag, image SRC. Here I have
Sorry to
already have.
interrupt you, Bhavik, but please feel free to unmute yourself. We are not the teacher, we are also students, so it is not lecture. Please unmute yourself and ask doubt. Otherwise, in chat, it will not be much joyful. So we are here for learning, not
Okay,
for.
okay, sorry.
No. Please ask.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I am using VS Code right now. PyCharm is not right now we are using because we are concerned only with HTML files. Needs asking about. Yeah, but indentation is must in Python, not in HTML. But we should give a good practice to write the code in good indentation, so it can easily be readable by other one. Okay. Any more doubt? Yeah, right. This is a video visual code. Okay, so I have already downloaded the logos and images already, so we can't need to download right now. So here is the DSC logo, which we will put here. Okay, so I will put first current directory slash. So it will show you logo, and we need to place here is DSC logo. Okay, and I'll save. It will show you here.
Vedant is asking one question, which is better one, VS Code or code blocks for coding. So it depends on
Yeah.
our choice, but it is widely preferred in industries and in our like in student communities too. Like they are having many more extension, and also you
Yeah.
means coding your code, it will be much easier than anyone else.
Means whether code block, yeah, it's good. Means mostly we use for competitive coding in C, C++. Basically, VS Codes allow us to code in any language. Means if you are good with terminal and snippets to download externally, it's best to code in VS Code. And it's depend on everybody's choice. Means you like in different ID, someone like another. Okay. Means VS Code is very good for beginner. Means to start, and it in many industries they are using VS Code, so it's not very okay. So here I have applied logo, so it's not good looking good, right? Okay, we will apply designing afterwards. So let's do in head tag. We will apply some links, right? Div, and yeah, I will. So I want to tell you means how I'm coding. Means that first we write div and full stop, and if you write any class name, right, link, and after that you press tab, it will become class. It's something if you want to code fast, if you are good practice with it will be easy. Okay, in that, and we will put link tag, right, a, so it will become like that. If you click that button, it will take to the another page. Yes, and we want to go right now, we are not going to any page, so we will read blank, and we will give name as about us. Okay, similarly, we will need to create 3 more tags. So I'll copy it and paste it. 1, 2, and 3. And this will become, let's say we give name as a courses. And this will become contact. Okay, and after I'll save you, please, I will advise you to see parallelly my left side window. So you can observe here, we get 3 in line. Okay, now we should design and observe, guys, that how much change will happen after we apply the CSS. Okay. This is my index.css file. I already applied some lines. You can see. First of all, I explain what is the star. This means it applies to all the classes irrespective of the name. Means I have given text decoration none. It means if you apply to link, it will give underline. You observe sometimes. I have given the decoration none, so it will not give any type of decoration which are given default. And in body, I give margin 0%, width 100%, and background color white. If you not give, it's okay. It's not necessary, but we should give such a good. Now, as we are working on header file, we will start in this header section. Okay, and head. First, I'll design head text. In head text, display flex. Many of you have doubt what is flex while we are going through theory. So I clear you what. And flex direction. Flex direction. And flex direction will be column. Okay. So you don't observe any changes, but when I will change it to a row, you will observe that it becomes right this flex means the element inside this head class means element inside the head class which are main head and nav head, they become in a row. Okay, so means logo, and afterward we will get the 3 link in straight. But right now we want them in column. If you don't go column, it's default, so you don't need to worry. Okay, yeah, fine. Then we will have main head. Okay, now we will apply to the nav logo. Means we need logo not too big, so We'll make it small by some CSS. Okay. First of all, I will give some height. Okay, and height I will give it 75 pixel for now. I hope it will come easy. Okay. Never. Hmm. And I will give margin left. It will margin to 43%. I know this value because I already made this web page, so I am doing. Otherwise, you need to hidden trial and go to a perfect value. So, and 20 pixel. Okay, here image is not changing because we have made one mistake. We have not applied class name to the image logo. Here we should give class name logo. After saving, it will see. You can see that it become in center and become small. Okay, so now we need to make a link in one row. So I told you that we will use flex. So here we will use flex and we'll give its flex direction. Flex direction to column. Sorry, row. Okay, now add this one. Never. And it will display the flex. And its flex direction. Okay, it will be column and justify content. You don't know about this, right? I will explain. Space even. So justify content space evenly. Let me save this file and you will observe here. The all will take space evenly and it divided in them into separate like this. If we add more element, it will divide in them in the proper way and it will give a proper out. So it's like look good. Now we'll apply some more padding. Okay, height. Yeah, first height. We'll fix height as a 30 pixel and background color. Okay, background color. Background color will be give RGB. RGB means red, black, blue. It will if whatever we need to pass three values like I will pass 146, 148, and 151. So it will make the color combination ratios and it will become like this, right? Okay. Okay, and we'll give main head. Let's give design to the main head. Main head. Okay, main head. First of all, we will give background color. So background color and RGB black. Simply give us a black. So look, it's look good, right? And now we'll fix the height. Means we want some big have net bar. So height to 98 or anything which you find perfect. I find this perfect, so I'll give. And we want okay, and font family means anybody if you feel that you want to change the font like font, we write the syntax as a font family and choose anyone. I'll choose this one. Okay, so we don't write any content, so it will not show, but I want to just demonstrate it. Okay, now I think our head is clear. Now we work with the links. This one, like about us. We want this that when our cursor over this, it change into some other colors, like we have seen in some other website, right? First, okay, then I'll work on link tag. Link tag is here, like we have about us, contacts us. You can see this one, right? Yeah. In link tag, we will first give width to 180 pixel and height height to 100%, right? Means whatever may be the content it will choose, then it will become 100%. And we'll give padding because it's too much to that upper border, right? So we'll give padding top. Kruta, you asking about this? You can see the changes that when I save this file. 5 pixel, okay. Now see change. I will save it. So you can see that the about us, courses, and contact us come some like 5 pixel down from the upper border. So it is mainly a padding which we call. If we give a left bottom, it will change as per the value we are given. And we want align center, okay. We want all text to align center. Okay, so it will be in center. Okay, if you want to see, like this become our navbar is ready. Okay, now we'll do some effect which I told you that when we go over the about us page, it change to a color. Okay, so main syntax is that you write the class name which we want to apply the over effect and the semicolon and over. You heard about hoverboard, right? It's similar like that. When you over cursor over this, it will change differently. Means like here we are applying change the color of the background, okay, and we'll give RGB and 90. And yeah guys, you don't need to remember this color, okay. It is randomly. Means if you want any color, you can go and Google it. So you don't need to. So like you can see, observe the effect, right? Yeah, this one line makes all these changes. Means if you apply any design, if you want to make a font size bigger, when you over this, it become large. You will see in more detail. Okay, fine. Now I can see our file is navbar is ready. Okay, we'll jump to the main content which we'll give here. Okay, so you have any doubt, guys? Then you ask me. Any doubt? Okay, I don't see many. Okay, now we'll code in header. Okay, first we'll give main semantic name. Okay, and another inside div tag, we will give main contact as a name of class. Content, right? Inside the main content, we'll make two inside this. The first one is div dot head box. Head box suggests that will be a box, like I have given name as like this, so it will be better understood. And another one will be a description. Description type. Okay, now we'll fill this head box. What we are going to do is I'll first give heading line. Okay, so div headline, and we'll like welcome and break tag. Everybody knows, right? Break tag. It will goes to another line, and developer student club. Yeah, and we'll make one a button, like div dot. I will name that class as a button class. Okay, and we'll put button. Okay, this syntax is used to give a button. Means we want anybody wants to apply a button, then it will use, and we'll give the class name as a class as a messenger send button, right? And yes,
Bhaiya, what div stands for?
div means, right, what we take a division, right? It just make a division which we can understand, right? Look here in header, I have given one head tag with class name head, and inside that I have given a class name two div tag, like first is main head and div head. It will, you assume like that it becomes part the HTML plus. If you use div tag alone, is worthless. If you give class name and apply some specific type of design, like you mainly flex are applied to the most parent of the div tag. Like here, if you apply flex to the head and you write flex direction as a row, then this div tag and this div tag become in a row. inside that doesn't matter what you write. It is that come in row. So basically div tag is very useful while coding. Means mostly we put everything inside the div tag one. It's just a name, means it's not like main header. It's div.
So Bhaiya, we can use other name instead of div, or we have to use that div only.
No, that's not specific. But mostly we have practiced that we write a div tag.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Cool. So in button we will write install. I write install because in next part of PW will require this button. So you can now write no send and let me, yeah. You can see the changes, right? Welcome developer student, because we have applied here break tag and the button, install button. But it's not looking good, right? So let's apply CSS. Okay, and parallel we put description, right? I've already make a description in another file. I'll copy and here paste it. Okay, so it will become, so you can see this, right? It's not looking any type of good. Okay, now let's apply the design. Yeah, first we'll go to main content. Before that we'll apply main. So the main use of semantic tag is that you don't need to class. Means if you want to make it all tag same, like here I write math, I don't write full stop. You can see, right? I not write full stop because we want to apply this whole designing, which will go inside this. Will be apply to this whole main tag. Means whatever will be the inside this will be apply all the design to this. Okay, so we'll apply on the inside this is background only. We want some different color so it look good, so will be RGB. And again I'm telling this color are least important, means it will be any number, means we even I don't remember this number. So look, this change the color. Okay, now we'll go to we will go main. Now will be main content. Main content. Just main content. I told you, right? Now flex will apply to the parent, means I apply flex to here and I will give flex column. Okay, it will not show any effect, but in afterward when we write the code it will change. And the flex direction column. Okay, and guys, if you have any doubt, please unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay, I'll apply this. Okay. It's not change. Anything is not changed because I applied column. If I apply row, you can see it changes. Just a minute. Okay. See what happened. Yeah, you can now observe what I'm trying to tell you. That I applied flex inside the main content. Inside there is two div tag, head box and description. So I give her the flex direction row. You can see here row. So here row means what will happen that the content inside the head box will become one part, like welcome developer student club and this button, and the description in what class name it will become right two rows. You can see here, but here we don't want any, so I will make it column. Yeah, now we'll go to another class inside for more designing. Let me just increase this. Okay, we'll give the main content. Okay, and now after we'll apply design to the head box. Okay, head box. I will first give a width. I want this welcome developer student club and button inside one black box, right? So let's do how we width. I will do it with around 70%. And margin, yeah, you can see the margin. I will show how margin changes just for width value, and I will give it 16%. Yeah, percent and pixel means it's up to you what you want. I used to prefer the percentage, right? So it's fine. And margin top. I'll give 30 pixels. Padding top. I'll explain you what will be effect is shown in real project. Just and padding bottom 60 pixel. And we'll make a background black as I told you. We want in a black box, so I'll select black color. Yeah, you can see this, and I'll make color white. Color means it changes the color of content, right? Yeah, you can see this, but it's still not looking good. We want this in center with along with the button. So let's align that. Now we have done with the head box class. Now we'll move to the headline. Means headline, it will contain welcome developer student club text, right? So any doubt? Okay, headline. We'll give font size. Font size. Font size, let's say 4 em. Yeah. What em means? Em is equivalent to a 16 pixel. If you write 1 em, it is equivalent to 16 pixel. But when we want a large dimension of font, we'll go to em. Okay, and we'll give a padding, means we want a padding from the top with 30 pixel, and align, and we want align text as a center. So text align center. And color white, which I already given above, so we don't need to. And after we save, it will look, yeah, it's looking good, right? Means the padding top means the welcome developer student club will be padding, like I have given 30 pixels, so it will become a 30 pixel down from the top border where black color starts here, and left and right similarly. Now we want a button. We want our button to in the center. Okay, so I will give button, and I will give its class name as a btn, right? Now btn, yeah, here is the btn. So I'll make a margin, and observe that what change will become 5%, and margin left 37%. Like look what I will happen. Yeah, look, the button will become in center, right? Still it's not looking good. We make a button something bigger. I give a button class is a messenger, msger send btn. Let's copy it and apply some more design to it. Okay, it contains so many design to look. It will contain background color as a color. I want the color to be white. Yeah, white. Font weight means bold. We used to make text bold in ppt. Yeah, that's what font weight means. And I will choose that bold. And cursor, you have not seen this. Yeah? What cursor means? Cursor, pointer. When we take this to this, it will change to the pointer, like the look. It become a pointer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yes.
That margin left equals to 37%. So what is it? Is it moving that install button to
Look,
37%, right?
Margin left. Look, if I applied padding 37%, then the text install inside the button will move 37% from the border, like this border. Look, let me zoom this border. But I apply from margin left 37, so it will go 37% from here.
So we can use 50%, so it will be perfectly in the middle.
No, means let me try, but I have applied 37 because I will after making this button large. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, apply. You can use 50%, 60 as per your choice.
So can you show once 50% if we
Oh,
apply?
50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just okay. Look, yeah. Still, it's not because the what we think is not like that. Means pixel width of our laptop, it matters too. Means the size of this box where you want to give margin. Okay.
Okay, okay, bhai.
Any more doubt?
No, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, very cursor. That will give cursor and font size. We want some font size around 1.4 em. You can convert by calculating, considering 1 em as a 16 pixel, okay, and width 250 pixel. So you can see the changes. And border radius. Border means it will give the radius to this border of the box button, and I will give this 10 pixel. And yeah, now we'll give some paddings. Padding bottom 15 pixel. So install will go some 15 pixel above from the border down the border, and padding top. Padding top will be the 15 pixel, and padding left. Padding left will be the 10 pixel. So observe the changes, right? So this is because I will make my screen loud. But look this, and I will make this as a 37%. As 37%. Look, it's perfect, right? It depends means what may be the size. Here it's not looking good because I have minimized my screen and it's not responsive yet. Okay, so our button is ready, our box is ready. Now we'll give some more designing to this part, this content. Okay, that's we have inside the description tab. Okay, so we start here. Full stop description. Okay, let's start description. We'll give margin first of all. Margin top. Remember that we need to give margin and padding everywhere because we need to align some content away from the border, right? So you must clear what is margin and padding. It's the most important and most basic and most used part while web development. And margin left, we want some type of margin like around 20 pixels. And margin right, yeah, we want means we want our content in the center. Okay? So we'll give both side 20 pixels. And yeah, padding. Padding will be 30 pixels. So look, I am not given padding top, padding left. So we are giving like padding bottom. This means it will apply in all directions, like top, bottom, left, right. Because I have not specified in which side we want. So it will apply to the all four sides. Okay, let me save this. So look how content become in center. Yeah. Any doubt? So please can you unmute? Okay, we'll go done with the description, right? And inside that I have given a data with a p tag right here. So we'll make some changes with in style about data. Okay. Data. Right. We'll first of all give a font style. Font style as an italic. Everybody knows, right? Italic. Font family. I'll give word. Yeah, here. And font size. Our font size will be a 1.5 em. And padding. Okay, padding. I will give padding 30 from all the sides. So look what will happen, right? It's become good to because the handwriting becomes larger from the before. And okay, and I want to apply one more design. Means it will make our web page very much look good. Like let's see what will. And you guess I will apply hover effect to this whole data. Okay, and I will make a background. Whenever cursor will go over this, I will make the background color to okay RGB 8 145 and I want font size to 1.7 means already will 1.5. I will change it to 1.5. Okay, I save. So look the change. What will happen? So look, whenever I will move a cursor to this content, it will become big and its color will change. Right? Very good to see. Okay, any doubt till now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose I open this website in my mobile and
Yeah.
in different browsers, so your buttons and the size will
Yeah,
vary.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but of course it will vary. Because we have not made a web page responsive, right? For that, we need to learn something like we need to media query and for all that. You can see here also means you tell I hope you inspect the page. In that, we have so many type of. Let's go for Vivo. So if you open this web page in your Vivo phone, it will look like this. It's not looking good, right?
Yeah.
Because I have not made our website responsive. We will cover this in our next series part. How to first we'll
So,
create.
so
Yeah, yeah,
Bhaiya, that we have to do using HTML only, or
yeah,
we have
yeah. In using CSS, it will come with
okay,
a media. It's
okay,
not hard. If you thorough with this part, it's very easy.
okay.
Okay, so till now it's any doubt?
Bootstrap is actually using widely for designing this
Yeah.
purpose. So
Yeah, because here we don't want to use any external libraries like Bootstrap, as Jalit said, because we want to make our web page pure HTML, CSS, not without and using any. If you use
you can use
Bootstrap,
yes, you can use media query, but in current industries practices, Bootstrap is widely used in
yeah,
everywhere, each and every site.
and it will make your code very easy. It means by copying some line of code, it give a nav bar, and it can make responsive too. So first we'll do how to make a code with vanilla code, HTML and CSS. So it's very good practice to don't use Bootstrap starting, right? Okay, now we have done with our main part and our nav part, header part. So we want to make a footer here in white section, right? So let's create in footer here. Okay, footer, right? And inside footer, I will make some logos, even logo. First, look, I will make a class with name footer box. Similarly, head box, we main box, right? Footer box. And another will be the div footer logo. It will contain logos like LinkedIn logo, Instagram logo. I'll show you how to put that. Okay. And the P, let's give name as a home, about, and another will be content. Right. And inside the logo, image tag, right? Image and press tab. Yeah. In SRC, we need to apply give the path. And I told you that I already download this logo. Okay, it is inside the project, inside the logo file, right? Facebook, Gmail, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, right? Okay, so I'll give path. We know full stop current directory inside that logo folder, inside that Facebook, and we'll give class name as a footer logo. Sorry, footer image, because logo will give apply. And yeah, you can't repeat the class name because it's not, you can repeat, but it will makes blunder. You can understand, like if you I give same name like footer logo here, and whatever design I apply here, it will apply to this only, so it become very unpredictable result. Okay, I will copy this because I will put 4 logos, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Yeah, I'll change this path. One is Facebook, another will be Gmail, Another will be Instagram and LinkedIn, right? Look, when I save, we'll see what changes. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's first of all give a footer as a flex, right? Footer tag, yeah, this one. And will not give full stop because it's not a class, right? It's tag also itself. And display flex, and make sure you properly learn flex because it's going to use so many times, and if you are thorough with the flex you can make any changes whatever of your thought means whatever you imagine you can apply in HTML CSS. And will we justify content, and here we'll use space between, not space evenly, which apply. Okay, look what changes will happen, right? I'll save it and show you right now. Okay, you if you can't see this, okay? Look, first of all, apply all design align because the logo is so much big. So first of all, you need to make a logo width and height small and center. Will align to the center. Background we want as a black, same as a nav black, and color we want color white, and height. Height let's give 123 pixels. Okay. So still it's not looking good because our logo. First we change the logo design, which we give as a name as a footer image. Footer image. Let's give width. Let's width 40 pixel. Okay, we give and height similar as a 40. So it look some from all the side and give margin right. We want margin right 20 pixel, right? Let's save. Now it's looking good, right? See what things. Know what the main aim of this space between is. It will move content at the end and make a space in between. You can observe that. Let's see here. I'll apply footer, yeah, inside the footer. So what will it do? Footer. It will move this to the most left side and it move this to the right most side. Okay. And I give margin right 20 pixel to them. So it will margin right each means LinkedIn will be 20 here, Instagram will be 20 away from this LinkedIn as most nearest element. Okay, and now let's design this home, about, and contact part. These are in different lines. So let's first make footer in same line. So we'll use footer box, right? Footer box, and we'll give display flex as usual, and flex direction. Here, this time we'll give row because we want them in one line, and margin left 30 pixels. And font size, let's say we'll give this time a 1.5. Yeah, let's save this. Look what, but still there are not space in between, like home and about are joined. So let's give space between them. Okay, footer. This time I will use different syntax for designing. Look what, greater than P and padding left. I'll explain you what is greater than means here. Let me make the screen big. Greater than means, look here, means footer box, right? I want to apply this designing, like that is padding left to the all the element inside this class, which is P tag. If I just give this as a P tag, it will give this effect to the all the P tag in our file, like it will change this also, anything. Okay, so I specifically constrain my designing to this P tag only by making here this. Okay, so greater than means its parent, means the child of this class with name is P. Okay, anyone's doubt in this syntax? Can you unmute and okay. So let's save here. So I'll see. Look, home, there is space in between and about. Because I give mine a padding left, so about will be give padding 10 pixel from the E of home. And similarly, C will be away 10 pixel from the T of about. And home as usual. Okay. Now we are complete with this, right? I don't think we have much more designing. Now we'll connect the home about page with here. If I click here, it will take me to the home about page. We'll make okay. So first, let me create this page about us dot ht. Oh, sorry, it's inside the logo file. About us dot html. Yeah, yeah. We need just a minute. Yeah, I'll give title as about us page. Yeah, and I want this page to link with the index.css, right? So I'll take this line because I want all the designing like in navbar, and we want also a navbar means header. So I'll copy that there and footer too. But we don't want the main. We'll create main here different. Okay, so let's hop over to the about us main page. So look, I will save this page. Yeah, and I link this to the here. I look, yeah, I make this blank. Now, if you want to connect the HTML page, so first, what is the file? We want to connect index.html to the about us, right? So we'll give the path to the index.html here. Yeah. Now let's see the change. When I click to this about us, it will take me to this about us page. Sorry, I give an index.about. I want to give about us. Let me see. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Look, we jump to the about us. You can see the URL, right? Here it now right now is telling us we are in about us HTML. Here right now it's indexed. So when we click this, it take me to this. And as we copy the tag content of navbar and footer, it will give us. Now let's code some main. I will not make this page more interactive because we just want to see how we can connect, not to make our page more so much interactive because we'll apply PWA in next part will be taken by Jwalit and we'll name as a contact inside there will be a one h1 tag and it will name as what will be contact us, right? Okay, contact us, and we'll make one paragraph, right? It will say let's say Lenny queries and one more tag which will give us email ID. Email us on ABC an email ID. Let me say, look, it will give this type of design. Now we will use designing here. As we created index.html CSS file, we can apply designing too, but I will apply here. How to apply that? See, style tag. Inside the style tag, we will give height of around 725 pixels. Yeah, this is another way of applying designing to the specific tag. So look what happens. We get near. Okay. So that's enough for this. Don't want to make more this designing because our main aim is to learn basics because you can apply anything means whatever your choice. Okay. Right now it's looking good. We have connected two page. Yeah. So guys, I hope you all are enjoying with this code. Any doubt? Yeah, please unmute.
Yes, Bhavik, I am taking over it.
Yeah, okay.
So, good evening, everyone. Hope you are enjoying, and I will take your more 15 to 20 minutes, but stay tuned. It will be more exciting as we are thinking. Do we use import to connect the home page with the main page? No, we are not importing. We are just connecting by.
Okay, Jwelin,
Yes, yes,
here we can apply link tag to the means you are telling that when we are in home, let's say about us page, if you want to go back to the home page, yeah, you can means give link to the logo, right? Logo and give the path to the index.html. When you click to that logo, then it will take to the home page, like we have index.html. So it's similar thing which we give like about us page. Okay, Dinky?
yes. So let's have a charcha on PWA. Okay. So can you guys name this like what this image is biased towards, if anyone knows? Please unmute yourself, or you can chat. You can chat in chat window. No one. So yes, obviously Dhruval, it is mobile first development design. Yes, yes, yes. Dominance of phones. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. So in we are moving in the flow, like why mobile first development is needed in current scenarios, because we know that we are using mobiles in anywhere and anytime. So what whenever we want to search or do anything, so it is the main purpose to develop our website or our web page from the mobile perspective first. So we will start designing our web page with the mobile view. Then in the subsequent development manner, we will gradually move towards the tablet and then the PC and then the big screen sizes. Okay, so in context of web development, it indicates the first build the website according to mobile and then gradually develop. Okay, so and it is also relating with capabilities of PWA, which is responsiveness, and which we are going to see in few moments. Okay. Uh, then this one, like what progressive web app means. PWA means progressive web app, and what it does mean. It is mix up of web application and Android application, which gradually makes it PWA. And there is no need to write a different separate mobile application code. So for the same website, you can host or you can have some mobile application in such so, and everything every aspects are solved very smoothly in PWA. So let's see what it is. So it is the graph between capabilities and reach of PWA. So like native apps are more capable to do either of the functionalities, and web apps are more reachable towards the client. So it will be more handy to them. And PWA provides the both functionalities, both characteristics to the user, and hence it is very widely used into the current scenario. And it is developed firstly by Google in 2015. So, and then it is the hottest technology currently in market, in current market. So introduction to PWA. It is the progressive web app, and it is a design pattern which is used for the development purpose, and that we are experiencing a native experiencing a similar experience that a native app we are using. So if we use our Instagram mobile app, then the same of PWA will have the same capabilities and same user experience as we were using the native apps. So unlike traditional application, progressive web applications are hybrid of regular web pages and mobile applications. So as we have discussed it, and to understand why this is important, think about the big pie of potential users. Like the application is used by the millions and thousands of people, and you want to increase the potential reach, which we have discussed in, and by reducing the improving the conversion rate. So figuring the solution, figure the PWA, and all progressive. And you please answer by unmuting yourself. We are not in the level. Anyone?
Similar to continuing.
Yes, obviously. You are right. And PWA is refers to fact that introducing new features like progressively in the progressive manner. So that the fact that introduce new features from the user experience point of view, they are initially perceived as a normal website. So that as a normal website content, the all content perceived in the mobile native application, and then it progressively behaves like a mobile application, like a native application. So, and it is a multi-platform tool. PWA is a multi-platform tool. And what are some tasks and how the task is performed by PWA? So first of all, we are saying that what is service worker and what is manifest.json, which are core heart of the PWA. And let's see what it is. The entire credit of seamless experience should given to the service worker, because it is heart of web application or native application, or we can say PWA, which all are same. Okay, and it is a backbone of PWA. Service worker actually is a reliable for caching and background content for updating, for push notification and the responsiveness and all the things which PWA does. Okay, so service worker is a core heart, and the more, sorry for interruption. Okay, so the core part of is caching, and it is done by service worker. Then it comes the manifest.json. It is a JSON file that tells browser that how your progressive web application looks like when it is installed in your desktop or mobile application in mobile devices. Okay, so yes, one more thing to tell. One more thing to tell that PWA can be used in desktop or mobile devices too. So just not sticking towards the bias towards the mobile application, but it can be also used in desktop too. Okay, we're gonna see that. So what is benefit? It is progressive that we have seen. Responsiveness, it is to adapt various screen sizes like desktop, mobile, tablet, or any dimension which is relatively available in the browser. Then application like app like, so they behaves with the users that they are the native apps in terms of interaction, or you can say in terms of navigation too. Okay, and it is updated, the information always keep up to date, and thanks to the service worker. Okay, so the other thing is searchable. It is searchable by search engine, so it targets the SEO. Does anyone knows what is SEO?
Search engine optimization.
Yes, okay. So it is very beneficial that any search engine recognize our application or our website. So it is searchable too by search engines and indexed by search engines. It is also possible. Then it is installable. So it allows the user that if user is like navigating to any website, then it installs it into the phone, so it behaves like a native application, and which is PWA. So it is installable and offline. So the real world example is like if you are using Pinterest or like Instagram, then you can say when your mobile data is off, then too some content which are already cached in your mobile is displayed, and thanks to this functionality, which is offline functionality, it puts everything means everything cached in front of you. It doesn't give error. So in weak connection or no in no connection, you can also browse the content. Okay. And the more importantly, workflow. So the service worker is sitting between your phone or your native devices and the server. So it does like when any data is not present in the cache, which is your local memory, which is in the browser. So if it is not present, then it will directly call to the to the server and fetches the data from there and displays to the page, which is shown below in two diagrams. So you can relate it. Okay. So any questions? Uh, we are done with the introduction part, and let's have a small talk on push notification. What it is. Any questions? Okay, assuming no questions.
Well,
Uh,
can you explain cache?
okay, cache. Cache is like temporary storage which is already fetched by you, but now let's assume that there is one image and you are frequently visiting that image on the server. So think about the load which server expects. Okay, so to reduce the to reduce the load from the server, there is an internal memory which behaves like a cache and which stores the data locally on your computer, and when you again request any of that cache data, it simply retrieves from the cache, not from the network. It will not go to the server. Okay. So
Okay.
server is having lesser load, so it can accommodate more number of requests per time. Okay. It clears your doubt or not?
Yes, Bea, clear.
Oh, okay. So no push notification. You see that in application you are the notification is coming in your application. Okay. So if you are not using that application, but still it is giving that notification, so it does by push notification. And let's see what it is. So it is a small simplified message, or you can say the alert to recipients. Recipients means who are using. Okay, so to deliver any content or any value, and it is being able to reach your visitors without any kind of effort. Okay, so no need. There is no need any effort. Just push any notification to the client, and it simply clicks on it and redirects to the web page which you have mentioned there. Okay. And notification are using two APIs, which is notification API and the push API. So notification API lets native code, means if you write code in Flutter, React Native, or Java, or any kind of mobile application languages. So whenever you want to have a push notification from that, so it is done by the notification API. Otherwise, in the PWA, we are having the heart as a service worker. So it is known as a push. It is the push notification done by the push API. Okay. So these are the two APIs classification from the perspective of push notification, and this is the workflow in PWA especially. Okay. So when your server pushes the there is a one protocol like get, put, post, and such wise there is a push protocol. So it push to the service worker. Uh, it it tells the service worker to do the task, and it then message arrives at the device. Okay, so these are the some brief description of how push notification works, and it describe it's and any application that subscribes the push services. So whenever you visit any web page, like, okay, so they are giving do you allow the notifications. So what it does exactly mean, so it is subscribing that website to allow us for the push notification, otherwise no notification will notify us that what is currently happening. Okay, what the server wants to send us. Then application receives client token based on the subscription, that certain clients having certain token, and the token is delivered to the application. Then server, whenever we want to push notification, then server sends request to the service, which is push service, using that push token, that I want to push this notification to any client which is like categorized by this ID, okay, client ID or token, whatever you can say. Then service worker will wakes up and receive the push event, and it transfer to the local means devices, which is PWA. So this is completely a complete workflow that how it behaves. So whenever you visit, then in the at the install button, after install button clicked, you will be redirect that prompt, which is like add to home screen or install. Then that application will install on your device with this icon, which is a fidget spinner like icon. And whenever you are opening that, so it will be open in your native mobile, and it is a PWA, so it will cache the data and it will display and behaves totally like a native application which you are using, uh, like normal, developed by the Flutter or native or anything else. Okay, and these are some companies, big companies, giants who are using this: Flipkarts, Forbes, Pinterest, and Twitter, and Starbucks, all Trivago, and all other one. So let's have a implementation side. uh, PWA હવે બહુ થઈ ગયું. Okay, so let's move towards the implementation. Okay, so my screen is visible or not? Just let me know once.
Actually, it's visible.
Okay, okay, great. And the font size is okay.
Yeah, it's visible. If anybody has problem, can unmute yourself, please.
Okay, great, great. So everyone knows JavaScript, like how to include JavaScript. We are using quite a bit of JavaScript. So if anyone doesn't know anything, that you can surely unmute yourself and ask me. Okay. So we can use JavaScript by script tag in our HTML, and this is the standard web development technique that you should or you must write your script tag or JavaScript or jQuery code at the end of your HTML. So after loading all the content of HTML page, your JavaScript or jQuery content will be rendered and executed. Sorry, executed and rendered. Sorry for the mistake. So let's move to the code part. So this navigator contains the all of the attributes in our web page or in the browser. We can say as a local browser. So if a service worker is registered in our navigator, means in our application, then we need to follow this one task, and which is like window. And window is also a global object for the entire for our entire page. So we add an event listener, that what kind of event we want to bind, and which is load event, and this is the callback function. that will be that will run after like in JavaScript there is a callback function, so everything every event, everything is considered as an event, and the data means the processing is done in the callback function, which is written in like this function. Okay, then let's see. Uh, Navigator dot say service worker, and then we register it. Okay, so what we register as a service worker, and we are having service worker named as service worker.js, which I'll be creating in just few moments. Sorry. So if this successful, if we registered successfully, then this particular then event then function will be called, and we are also having callback functions from these two. And just remember that we are using this arrow functions, and which is the current standard of declaring functions in shorter format. Instead of using this function entire name, we can write like likewise this also. Okay. So let's normal console it. Console on our window. Okay. And let's say if if any error happens, then we will also catch that error and let the user display that service is not registered. Okay, and this is the error object which we are gaining from the, like whenever error happens, then this error object will be thrown by the browser. Okay, so we are done with this if part, that if service worker in navigator, then do these things. Then let's move towards the more implementation. Yes, so I'm declaring one variable here like default prompt, and another windows dot add event listener, and then the most important method, which is service prompt. So all of this is like to register our service worker in our application. Okay, so yeah, uh, huh. Add service worker, then okay, event. We are getting that event from it, and let's say event dot event default version is 67, like below the below the see like install will be okay. We are now string our prompt step event. Which document is also and then dot query selector. So it is a query selector based on DOM manipulation. If we want to access some of our elements, then we can do it by want to add it to our home screen or not. So let's say if it is succeeded, then we are having our result with us. Then let's go to the inside, and if our result is equals to accepted, then we simply console it, console.log, and it is like accepted. We are running out of time, but let's see, it is important to see. Okay, else console.log and rejected. Okay, and we are setting our default prompt as a null, so whenever we visit again, so it will not be that having that again. Okay, so we are having one line more, document dot queries query selector. In that we are having install button. Okay, and then we want style and display. We want to still display our button as a flex element, so let's display it as a flex. So it at the end we are done with the script, so like how we need to register. So we are having lesser time, so let me copy paste the things, and I am parallelly I will explain the things out. I will explain the things. Otherwise it will not be completed in time was supposed to be. Okay, so it is the cache name, which is cache v1, which is the default cache in browser. Okay, and this is the pre-cache resources which we want to cache upon the user request, which is index.html, .css, about us.html, and we are having certain logo like DSC logo, Facebook, which Bhavik has mentioned in his demonstration. Okay, so these are some life cycle events of service worker, and one of them is install event. So let's say we are installing, uh, the scope of service worker is what from is it start with its subdirectories and the directories or files which are under on it. So we always put our service worker at the root level, so that it can cache all of the things which I have mentioned in this pre-cache resources, and it can access all. Okay, so we should wait until all we open all the caches, and if there is a cache, so then cache, and if there is a cache, so we add the, so not exactly like we want to cache our resources. Okay, so these are the pre-cache resources, and whenever the our service worker will register or let's say install, so first of all we want to cache this much amount of resources in our cache, which is named as a cache v1, which is in our local browser. Okay, then this is the most important line, which is keep waiting. So let's say if you change your service worker, or let's say you change the logo, then what will happen that all the tabs open in all of the devices will there it needs to be closed, isn't it, like to need to be updated. So that time will be skipped by this sentence self dot skip waiting. Okay, so another, and it will not activate. Okay, so if we forgot to write self dot keep waiting, then after updation in service worker, or let's say in our index, or let's say in logo, so this activate life cycle will not be activated, and it will takes a lot of time to get activate, and which we don't want. Okay, and this is the activate event. Whenever service worker will be activated, then this console will be printed. And the another one is add event listener, which is fetch event. And fetch is for whenever the request is whenever request will be done, so the resources will be fetched. And if there is a cache resource, if there is a cache response, then the cache response will be uh, get back to the user in the web page, or otherwise by event dot request, that what data is requested, we will fetch from the server itself. Okay, so whatever we have seen that in slides, like service worker is sitting between our clients, like in local machine in or in server. Okay, so this two sentence define the whole statement, or let's say the whole point. Okay, and another file which we needs to modify is manifest.json. So sorry. So let's say we cache this much icon. Let's say we want to display this much icons, which is DSC logo in our like in tab. We can see the icons. This is our background color, theme color, start URL. So this is the most important thing, that start URL must be there. Okay, so otherwise it will not it will not start means initiate any request. Okay, and our name of application PW application is this one, and the short name is this one. So it doesn't matter at all, matter to display. Okay. Okay, and this much amount, which is the same as we mentioned in the manifest.json. Okay, so we are linking our manifest.json here, and these are the some points, or you can say this is the characteristics which we are defining in our HTML page, which is index.html. So let's open with our live server. We can see sorry, what happened? Okay. Yes, so we can see this page like Bhavika has explained. This is about us page, and this is the home page. Okay, and the main thing is this install button. We can see the install button. It is, I don't know why it is not working properly. Okay, so let's say yeah, the icon is displayed here. Okay, so doesn't matter. The in event listener there will be some issue, so we can add in the this now. Okay, so we are currently demonstrating in our as a desktop application. So let's say we install it. Okay, yes, so this is a desktop application which is installed in my local machine. Okay, let's wait a minute. Let's get back again to the server and open with the live server again. We can inspect, sorry, by Control Shift I, and okay, so we will close firstly this one, and this is the dev tools which is provided by the Chrome, which is Lighthouse. And if Lighthouse report is good for the progressive web app for mobile, then it will be very efficient PWA. So let's see this one. Okay, so it is fast enough for mobile. Okay, it is optimized. It will not use HTTP as HTTPS as we are using it as a local host. So it is having this much content. So we haven't provided 512 pixel. Okay, because it is not needed now. So it is accepted here, and this is the report which we can see by Lighthouse. Okay, so, and let's go to here, and we can see this is the DSC PW application which is installed in our local machine, and see. Okay, and everything is working perfectly fine, as it has the cache resources. These links are working fine, these images and button and all the things. Okay, so yes, thank you so much guys for listening me. And if you have any doubt, so you can ask me by unmuting yourself. I know it is a little bit of more than what we have expected, but thank you for being present. Okay. And one more thing, we are having one feedback form. Yes, please join to that server which Hardik has mentioned, and we are having this feedback form. So please fill up and tell us that how you enjoyed this session and what we needs to improve, as we are doing our first event as a junior of web development team. So you can mention it, and your suggestions are always welcome.
Yeah, guys, and we will recommend you to join Discord because there we will be on many servers like machine learning, cloud, and web development. So you can ask any doubt, and we will provide this whole zip file of code if anybody wants enter server. So please join our DSC server.
So whenever if anyone feels that there is some improvement needed in our style of like presenting, then please let us know, so uh, from next time we can improvise ourselves. Okay, so thank you Ishita and thank you Bhavik
Yeah,
for the coordination,
Yeah.
and thank you Hardik, Ishita, and thank you Hardik, Avina, and Devanshu.
yeah, even thank you, Devanshu and
Thank
Hardik,
you.
Veena,
Hello,
for
Bhaiya.
giving us this platform.
Bhaiya, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, make it up. Yes, speak it out, Krutarth.
हाँ भाई, हार्दिक भैया ने मेरे को वीवो के फोन पे डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करके दिखाया ना कि वेब पेज कैसा
Okay.
दिखेगा, तो वो एप्लीकेशन कौन सी थी भैया?
वो
No,
एप्लीकेशन नहीं थी वो आपका ना वहाँ पे जाके राइट क्लिक करो, इंस्पेक्ट में जाइए. Over there you'll see all the devices like iPhone and which you would select like Vivo. That will give you the how it will look. I mean, let's well it will demonstrate. Look, yeah, it has selected the Moto G4, right? So because it's Google app, so it's obviously it will be a responsive, right? And you can select any iPhone 7, 8, SE. But as we load our web page which we created, it will not give such a good response because we don't create responsive web app. See, means you can inspect your web page by clicking right click, and over that there will be last line which shows inspect. Yeah, Kruta, you got clear your doubt?
Yes, got clear.
Yeah.
And भैया, can you please upload your programs?
Yeah, means this whole code zip file.
Yes,
Will
yes.
you join the Discord server?
Yes, I have joined.
We'll upload their zip file. Don't worry. And you
Okay.
can approach anyone there in any server if you have any doubt regarding ML, web development, cloud, right?
Yeah, भैया, actually I have one. I am like doing HTML right now.
Hmm.
So I am just stuck on one place. So I will. So where I have to contact, like any
Yeah,
of
yeah, Discord.
you can contact us at Discord, or you can like pin us in LinkedIn too. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope you guys are on.
And we are happy to help you. Any doubt?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Hardik and Devanshu, any please closing note. Please provide some closing note.
Hardik. Hello, Hardik.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
I think first year guys are not quite aware of the DSC, I believe. So eventually they can follow our social media and the server and all that to gain more knowledge about this program also, and also they can learn the technologies and all stuff here too. And yes, that's it. They enjoy your time of first year, and do attend this workshop and seminars also.
Yeah, and I really like to thank our junior members of web team. They organize this session very well, and for the first year students, like we just organize this kind of event where we can share the knowledge with you, and it's very important for you guys to get some this kind of knowledge on latest technology. So I hope you all join us in future events as well. And thank you all. Thank you Hardik, Avina, and team members. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Devanshu.
Thank you.